There's one spot on your body that can create majority of your thoracic outlet center pain that other therapists are just too scared to touch. And that's why as a sports massage therapist, I'm going to be showing you not only where this one spot is, but also how to release it with confidence so that you could feel relief immediately. My name's Adam. I'm the owner of TrainerMassage.com, and I had to figure out how to get rid of my own pain through a bunch of trial and error when no one was able to help me. And that's why I make these videos so you can do the same but in half the time. And that one spot most therapists are scared to work on is going to be the neck region, more specifically the scalene muscles. And the reason why they're scared to work on it is because that's where all the nerves and blood vessels come out of the spine and into the shoulder. Particularly, you wouldn't want to work on your nerves and blood vessels, right? But that's not what you're supposed to do here. You're supposed to work on the scalene muscles that wrap around it and go between them, because those are the muscles that get chronically short and tight thanks to overuse when you're typing on the computer all day or being on your phone. And these muscles also get tight just thanks to regular chest breathing, which a lot of us tend to do, especially when we're stressed out. Now, of course, most people have a valid reason to not want to work on here because they're just too nervous to work on the areas that are close to those nerves and blood vessels. But this is the exact spot you should be working on because these are the muscles that create that compression in the first place and create most of your thoracic outlet syndrome pain. And that's why I'm going to be showing you how to release your scalenes using simple self-massage techniques. And the first thing we're starting off with is going to be a basic warm-up of the general area. All you need to do here is take your fingers and begin working on the lateral side of the neck and just begin rubbing into it with light to medium pressure. What we're doing here basically as a warm-up is trying to, one, get that blood flow going because that's going to help move that circulation, get rid of the toxic crap and all that, right? Bring in the good nutrients. But two, we're also looking for the most tender spot that we can find in order to work on it in the next few techniques. Now, when you press into the neck, make sure when you press into it, you're not going directly into it with a lot of pressure. It's okay to do it with a little bit, right? Especially when you're doing a warm-up. But if you're just someone who likes to kind of press hard, or if it's really sensitive, either ease up on that pressure or try to push into it and then drag it towards the back of the head. And then from there, you can apply that pressure kind of towards the back of that skull. So instead of going directly in, we're going towards an angle basically. Now go ahead and warm up this muscle for about 30 to 60 seconds and don't forget to work on the other side. If you have issues locating the area, go ahead and just rotate your head to one side. That's going to make your SCM pop out. It's not a muscle we're working on, but it's basically the front border of where those scalenes are. And then from there, you go to the upper traps, and that's the back of the border. And then from there, you have a nice little spot to work on for your warm-up. Oh, and by the way, my brand new program, the Nerfix Blueprint, just came out. And inside, we go through all this and so much more in order to help you get rid of your thoracic outlet syndrome pain in record time. Make sure to check that out now by clicking on the link in the description below. All right, now that you're done warming up the muscle, we're then going to be moving into some micro movements. And the whole point of micro movements is to try to break down those trigger points, those tender spots that we found during the warm-ups. So go ahead and go back to one of those tender spots that you found, apply some medium to strong pressure, again, going inwards, but then towards the back, almost at an angle. And then from here, you're simply going to start rubbing it out with small movements. This can be up and down, side to side, circles, whatever you feel like doing, because the whole goal here, one more time, is to break down those trigger points, start to loosen them up, which is what we're really trying to do here, those tissues in between. And that's going to help loosen up the rest of the muscle. This is also why we go for the most tender spots, because we're trying that basically 80-20 principle, work on 20% of the areas for 80% of relief, right? And a fun little extra tip here, you can put your head in different positions as we do these techniques. For example, I can tilt it towards here. As I do this, I can tilt it away. I could rotate my head one way or another. And before I do these techniques, and that's going to put these muscles on different stretches, contractions, things like that. so that when you're rubbing it out, it's going to affect the trigger point differently. Make sure to do micro movements for 60 seconds and then, of course, repeat it on the other side. Now, up next is a pin and stretch. Go in and pin down the most tender spot that you found within the scalenes, and then from here, stretch out the scalenes by tilting your head to the opposite side. You're basically just dropping your ear to your shoulder with the muscle pinned down. And then what we're doing here is repeating this technique, basically letting go, pinning it, and then stretching again for 60 seconds each side. Now, when we do this, the whole goal is basically like an old school Indian burn, where we're basically pressing on top of the tissues, on top of the muscles, on top of the fascia, and then we're moving the neck, which moves the muscle underneath that fascia and helps us slide. This right here is a great way to not only loosen those tissues and allow them to move independently, which is what they should be doing, but it also helps stretch that muscle out at the same time, which improves your mobility and even your posture a bit. And some fun little extra tips here. When you are doing these techniques, once again, go ahead and rotate your head, tilt it in different directions. So when I pin it, so if I'm pinning it and stretching it this way, at the very end, I will rotate it down, maybe rotate it up. Different directions will hit different scaling muscles. And we can even pin it down while it's in a passive contraction. And what I'm trying to do here is basically push these tissues straight down into the shoulder. I'm trying to gather as much tissue as I can, basically. So now when I stretch it out, all that muscle has to slide underneath all that fascia, and that's going to help loosen it even more. And of course, don't forget to work on that other side. Go ahead and just feel around your neck, see how it feels. Is it still tender? Does it feel loose? Where's your pain at? A lot of the times, most of you might just need this simple little release routine in order to get rid of your pain as fast as possible. But I'm sorry to say this is not all you need to do, because in order to get rid of your TOS pain permanently, we need a step-by-step approach, right? We can't just attack it with one treatment at a time, because that's not how it works. That's not how the body works, because eventually your body's going to go back to the same patterns that it was doing that created that tightness in the first place. And we need a way to fight that off. So if you want to learn how to do all that, you can either check out my brand new program, the Nerve Fix Blueprint, where I show you all the steps, all the progressions, everything you need, plus multiple bonuses to help you with all the problems before and all the problems that TOS creates. Or if you're just not ready to invest in my brand new program, which you definitely should because it comes with a money back guarantee, then make sure to check out this brand new video up in the corner, because that's technically the next part in this sequence. I'll see you in the next one.